Bienvenue, or welcome to Louisiana, a state rich in culture, mainly known for Mardi Gras, crawfish, and of course, football, having not one but five FBS teams spanning across the state, with the powerhouse residing in the state capital itself. Where the sun finds its home in the western sky, the bats unfold to fly. I present to you the newest college football team in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the Baton Rouge Bats. Louisiana has a large part of its workforce mainly employed in welding and even the plants. And after long days of work, they're still wanting a higher education. And thus, the Baton Rouge Night School was founded. Just like the former murder capital that they reside in, BRB Night School isn't for the weak. With the school being newly founded, we needed to find the toughest, the most grittiest team that we can find. And that all starts with the head coach himself, a man who is passionate about their hometown and embodies toughness, the one and the only, Eric Reed. Now let's take flight and head over to the Baton Rouge Battling Bats. What is up, everybody, and welcome to downtown Baton Rouge, where we have local LSU legend Eric Reed accepting the head coaching position for the inaugural 2025 season. And this is going to be a good one. For this inaugural season, I have decided to put the Baton Rouge Bats over in Conference USA, just because it geographically makes sense, with there being a few Louisiana teams and some Texas as well. I was really wanting to get into the Sun Belt, but being that they just denied LA Tech's bid to join because there was too many Louisiana teams, we steer our way over into Conference USA. Let's go ahead and check out our first schedule for the kickoff season. Week 1, we go into Tiger Stadium and we take on our rivals, LSU. It is going to be a battle through the years, but this first one, being at 57 overall, I am almost positive LSU will have their way with us. So, week 2, we got a bye week. Going into week 3, we're going to beat up on someone our own, and we're going to take down not the experts Rocket City Rebels. Going into another bye week, and then having conference play after that with Jack State, FIU, New Mexico State, Middle Tennessee, Delaware, which will be a really good way to see where we rank since Delaware just moved up into the FBS, as well as UTEP, Sam Houston, finishing out the season with our second rival, ULL Raging Cajuns, and then FAU and Liberty. Seems like a really good schedule for the first season, and it'll definitely see where we match up compared to everybody else. Now let's go ahead and head over to the recruiting board, saving our team roster for last. Being the hometown hero that Eric Reed is, he has already went out on his own and got 23 prospects on his board, with the main prospect being, it looks like a little honey badger lookalike, with Dalton Ivory at 5'9", 204. He hasn't went and scouted anybody yet because he wanted to save that until he put his pre-order points into his recruiting to kind of help with the master recruiting and motivation. Even though Coach Reed could have went out and gotten 35 different prospects, he stopped at 23 just to mainly get our team needs. Coach has yet to go ahead and scout everyone, so let's go ahead and do that now. And we found our first bust of the season with Deshaun Angerer, tight end out of Danville, Kentucky. Goodbye to you, sir. Coach Reed went out and found the first gem of the season with Deshaun Hopes, linebacker out of Mandeville, Louisiana. Let's go ahead and throw a scholarship on that one instantly. We've now used all of our hours, and sadly, Ivory wasn't the biggest standout like I thought he'd be. There really was no big standouts besides Deshaun Hopes, the middle linebacker, and hopefully we can go ahead and grab him, especially being that he's from Mandeville, Louisiana, and a lurker. That could definitely be a great user. Man coverage and zone coverage isn't that good, but his traits should be developing very well. I did go ahead and throw some scholarships onto the special teams, with Tyler Turk being a 3-star kicker. We are in his first spot, and he is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We are always going to give the guys in the state the biggest advantage because we are a homegrown team. As well as Jalen Draft, the punter. I went and threw a scholarship on him as well from Mario, Louisiana. While most of these prospects are team needs, we do have 3 of them that I just added on here
for the fun of it, like Vi Choi from Shreveport, Louisiana, 3-star power rusher. We are second on this board. Sadly, I should have saved some hours for him, but I did not. As well as Miles Kongbo, a gadget player from Butler, Pennsylvania, and Jamal Figures from Reading, Pennsylvania. Even though we're out of hours this week, next week we are going to try and secure them with scholarships as well as scouting to see if these guys are even worth it. Now that we have finished with the recruiting board, let's go ahead and check out all of Coach Reed's abilities as well as our offensive and assistant coach. I went ahead and put all of the pre-order bonus points already into Coach Reed's recruiting to try and max out that as much as possible, starting off with mainly the defensive areas, then went into the offensive later on because, of course, Coach Reed is going to be more defensive minded, and this team is going to be more defensive minded with the pro style offense. Speaking of the team, let's go ahead and check out our roster. We're going to go ahead and go down our roster while also starting to redshirt our players that we needed to. For quarterbacks, we have Dean Smith as well as Tobias Matthews that is going to be competing for that main spot, with Tobias Matthews looking like he has the upper hand just from the 82 speed, 83 agility. And let's go ahead and check out this throw power, being that he's a pocket passer. Throw power is actually almost equal with Dean Smith and Tobias Matthews, so depending on how well they play, we'll see who's getting the starting job. But 100% we are going to redshirt Ashton Jarvis and Kevin Love. Moving over to our running back position, we have Keontae Blue starting it out with an 82 overall, only a junior, with 91 speed, 94 acceleration. He is going to be an outstanding playmaker for this Baton Rouge Bats team. With a perfect complement, we have Franklin O'Hare being a contact seeker. We got Smash and Dash over here at the 1 and 2 spots. And with that being said, we can go ahead and redshirt Ty Green as well as Tavon Grant. Ty Green already being at 90 speed and Tavon also being at 86. They should develop very nicely during this season. Next up, we have wide receivers, which sadly is not a strong point on this team, with the highest overall being Carmine Green at a 77, and he's a senior. Followed by Javon Foreman at 72, Trey Page at 66, and it just falls off from there. So we're going to go ahead and redshirt Patrick Young, the speedster, already at 88 speed, should develop at least to 89 during this season, as well as Trayvon Bell is a speedster, already at 89. We're going to go ahead and redshirt you as well, especially being at 59 overall. We are not putting him to use anytime soon. Just like the wide receiver position, the tight end group is not the best either, with our starting tight end being Elliott McDonald at 6'9 overall, followed by a big drop off at Alex Gunderson at 65. Hopefully we can secure the two tight ends that we have on our prospect board, and this won't be any of our worries. For our starting left tackle, we have Blake Sutton Jr., just a raw strength type of guy, being at 89 overall, but sadly he is a senior, so this will be his last year. We are going to go ahead and redshirt Andrew Spanway, who is at a 57 overall as a freshman. Not the best to start off at, but hopefully this redshirt year can help him out a bit. Moving over to the left guard, still pretty pitiful. We have Max McCool starting off for us at a 69 overall junior, and just following that, it's not the best overalls, nor could we even redshirt a single left guard. That's why we have a lot of guards on the prospect board for us. Over at center, we have Jalen McDonald starting for us at 72 overall, followed by a very big drop-off at 64. So we're going to go ahead and redshirt Grant Huff, who is out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Staying with the guards, we have DeMarcus Perkins, a raw strength right guard with 92 strength as a junior, so he is going to develop for us very nicely if he hopefully doesn't transfer away. But with him being at 74 overall, I really doubt he's going to get a lot of attention. We are going to redshirt Jermaine Houston, 58 overall as a freshman. Should be good for us in the long haul. Moving over to right tackle, finishing out this offensive line, we have Kalen Franklin starting at 75 overall. He is just a junior, and once again, more of the raw strength. Definitely a common theme for our offensive line, having raw strength, so we can go ahead and use that pro-style offense that Eric Reed is such accustomed to. We finally move over to the defensive line, and we have our starter Joshua Townsend at a 70 overall. Definitely not the best position to have, and it just falls off way further after that, from the 70 going down to 65, then down to 59. I am going to go ahead and redshirt Nick Forsythe as well as Couch Smith. Moving over to the right edge rushers, we have our starter Kobe Garland at a 67 overall. And being that he is already redshirted, I am going to go ahead and redshirt Allie McCray, 65 overall sophomore, who's already surpassed Garland in speed as a speed rusher. So he should develop very nicely behind him. And I'm going to also go ahead and redshirt Ellis Berry. And down to the meat and bones of the defensive line, we have the defensive tackle starting out with a 68 overall senior, Jarian Love, falling off into Deshaun Weeks at a 65 overall junior. The only red shirt we're going to have for the defensive tackles is DJ Dean, the sophomore, at 58 overall. Moving outside to our linebackers, we have the starter Taj Coles coming in at a 75 overall junior. Then behind him, we have Nick Dio Double G at a 68 overall. He is a junior as well, and I'm not going to redshirt him. I'm going to let him just ride it out. But I will go down to Ben Laney with a lurker ability and redshirt him for his freshman season. Moving over to the Mike linebackers, we have Chase Freeman as a senior starter at an 81 overall. Love to see that, one of the highest overalls that we have on the team. And not going to redshirt anyone besides Marquez Carty with a 67 overall. Even though he's a sophomore, I still see his development can be very well. We then move over to the will linebacker, where Octavius Terrell is our top starter, being at a 69 overall. He is a senior, so there's not much development that will happen, but we are going to go ahead and redshirt Draymond Gates at 58 overall as a freshman because he has really great stats, starting off with 79 speed, 82 excel. His coverage is horrible, but hopefully he can develop that through the offseason. We then move over to our cornerbacks, where we have Jaden Bowie starting it off for us as a senior starter at 74 overall, followed by Noah Collins coming in at a 71 and Terrell Pace at a 68. We are actually going to go ahead and redshirt most of the cornerbacks in this one, with Jeb Stovall, Dakota Mills, Malik Moon, and Logan James being our redshirted cornerbacks. Hopefully they can all develop, still being freshmen and sophomores. And rounding out the skill positions, we have strong safety, and now you guys can see why we really need Ivory to land for us, because our starting strong safety right now is a 68 overall senior in Alexander Valentine. Yeah, your name's cool, but your grade is ass. Then back up, we got Quincy Blue, which I have no choice but to go ahead and redshirt, so I'm praying Valentine does not get hurt this season. And last but not least, let's go ahead and take a look at our special teams. We have senior Ian Wells coming in at a 70 overall. Then going over to the punting position, we have Matt York, one of our highest rated players, being our punter, coming in at a 78 as a junior. And that does it for the Baton Rouge Bats roster in the inaugural season. I am very excited to see the quarterback battle between Dean Smith as well as Tobias Matthews, because they both bring something that the other cannot. And Dean may have the upper hand just because he is a junior with backfield creator. But I'm definitely looking forward to the future, having Ashton Jarvis as a dual threat as well as Kevin Love coming in as a dual threat. That's mainly how we are going to use the Bats with our pro-style offense. And that just about does it for the preseason. Let's go ahead and sim the week, finally getting into the actual season. After simming, we went and got a recruiting update. Thankfully, we are still number one on Dalton Ivory's board as he has went into the top 8, as well as Cordell Shakir. The only one it looks like we fell on was our left guard, Ronald Mix, and we got locked out by James Woods, the actor that apparently has turned football player. And it does seem that Coach Reed needs to put a little bit more time and learn a little bit more about the offensive line, being that both of our offensive guards are in the 4th spot, which we are very close to being kicked out. But some good news, we are the first on the D tackle, as well as Tyler Turk, the accurate kicker. We need to go ahead and push for Jamal Figures, though, being in the 6th spot. And this is something you hate to see. Keontae Blue is already at risk of transferring. He is literally our best player and will be our entire offense this season, so hopefully we can turn that around, as well as Franklin O'Hare being that second punch. Seems like he's at risk of transferring. I'm very surprised that in our first ever year, we are not the worst team in college football, and that is actually New Mexico Lobos. Followed by LA Tech, our own Louisiana school that we have beat before even playing a single game. All right, everyone, that rounds it out for the first video of the Baton Rouge Bats Dynasty. Whenever we get into the next video, we will actually jump into week 1 and finally get to see the bats in action. But until next time, I am Ghostly TD, and I'll see you all later.